So we're done discussing about the remedial instruction for writing. Then now let's proceed to how to teach in preparation of demonstration. So before that, I have some questions. So during your high school days, what qualities of your teacher you adore or you like the most? Kaya mga qualities sa inyong teacher yung kada bitong ganahan kaayo mo? Like ganang. Kaya during my high school days, I have a teacher kada bitong sunod pa lang na daw niya murag lami na kay sa pamati although di ko siya magklase kay kuan kanang she's busy pero every time mo sunod siya sa classroom murag feeling ko na mo ka kanang gaan kay sa pamati kay iya bitong presence kay positive man kay siya kapag teacher. So kamo, do you have kanang a teacher who you adore the most? Yes, honey?
I had when I was in high school. I have a teacher wherein ano bitang dali kay siya maduulan, dili ka nang kanabang dili ka matahaog mga itabang siya about sa mga advices sa life ana.
So, have you experienced having a teacher who is kana bitang sigig pasulat sa blackboard? Yeah. Sigota sa blackboard. Every time musulod siya sa classroom kay mangurog na mo makita pa lang kay sa iyang tunog, mangurog na mo kay isog kayo. So, I have here a video of
Hado ka na.
Mana yung estudyante?
Napugot mo na.
Sinulit.
Nako na din sa gan. Patay ka na.
Ay, gibulalan.
So, based on the video, what have you observed or what kinds of teachers have you seen on the video? Sa kayo mga qualities or kinds of teachers may nakita sa video? Yes, Miss Shiny? Jerry Lynn.
Okay, so from the video that we've watched, the qualities of the teacher that I've seen are those loving. Then there's also boring, and then they're funny or the anyway, joker. And then there's also the fashionist one, and then so street. So those are the different types of teachers that I've seen or that we did.
So the video shows the different types of teachers in the classroom and their qualities and how they manage the class. So now let's proceed to the outline of the topic. Everyone can do it.
Definition of demonstration. demonstration, importance of preparation for effective teaching demonstration, steps for teaching preparation, lesson structure, materials and resources, practice and timing.
Okay, so let us first discuss the definition of demonstration. Definition of demonstration. So demo comes from the Latin word demonstrationem, from demonstrate, which means show or explain. So demo comes from the word demonstrationem. So do you have any idea or idea about what is demonstration? Miss Mary Joy, do you have any idea about that demonstration?
A demonstration is that you are demonstrating here in front and to your students. So that's demonstration.
Okay, so demonstration. So everyone, please read the definition.
It is a teaching method of showing or explaining how to do a task using sequential instructions with the end goal of having learners perform the task independently.
Okay, so when we say demonstration, it is the process wherein the teacher explain or demonstrate the topic. So it is in a form of discussing with the use of differentiated activities. So for the students to be able to participate more and to catch their attention, because in having a demonstration, it is important to consider the activity so that the learners are willing to learn and more excited to learn about the topic. So next is we have the students-teacher relationship. So why do you think it is important to consider student-teacher relationship in a classroom? Miss Jonah, why do you think it is important to consider student-teacher relationship in a classroom?
So it is important to consider teacher and students relationship because if kadang magkaroon sila of interaction sa kadang inside the classroom so that they can have a harmonious discussion.
Exactly. So one of the most important things to be considered in a classroom is the student-teacher relationship. So this, the student relationship, the student-teacher relationship is needs to be balanced for the teachers to share knowledge and discuss the lesson well, and for the student to grasp all the information and the knowledge that the teacher taught, and for them to be able to share, to have freedom to share their ideas or opinions about the topic. So, having now understood the definition of demonstration and the connection or the relationship of student and the teacher,
Yes.
alright, so now let's proceed to importance of preparation for effective teaching demonstration. So, Fern,
once again, and today we're going to continue discuss the importance of preparation for effective teaching demonstration. Please read, everyone.
First impressions,
Alignment with objectives, credibility.
So these are the qualities that in preparing our demonstration that we have to attain. The first impression, the alignment with objectives, and creativity. We will discover all of this. So first impression, JV, why do you think that when we are preparing our demonstration, first impression must be attained, or should we say, we really need to be impressed at the very first glimpse in seeing our students?
So, in my opinion, impression is important because if your students, if the teacher shows confidence, so the students can really focus on the lesson, and also the students' interest will arouse, and they will be more interesting on the topic that what is the teacher should teach about.
Okay, thank you. Another idea, Generica. Why do you think first impression is important in preparation for demo?
First impression, I think, is important
Precisely, no? There are people that do not believe that first impression lasts because according to them, it is not the most important one. What matters is that you're confident enough in facing your students, and you are, you are master of the topic that you had. But in demonstration, we have to be impressed at the very beginning. Why? Because your students will capture, that's also the technique that you can capture the interest of your students. Kasi if first day pa lang, you're facing your students, nalalamya-lamya tayo, then there's a possibility that our students we cannot get their interest, and at the same time, mawawalan sila ng gana to listen on you. The next one, the alignment with objectives. Why this is very important, Janice? Alignment with the objectives.
So, alignment with objectives is very important of preparation for effective teaching demonstration, so that you should understand your objectives and ma-align siya sa inyong mga tasks na ihatag sa inyong students.
Okay, precisely. So the objectives is, what is the function of objectives in teaching? What is the function of objectives? Anyone? The goal, precisely. The goal. Meaning, your objectives must be aligned on the task or the activities that you're given to your students. Kasi, ang pangit naman kung iyong objectives ay hindi vertically aligned sa task. That means that the effective demonstration will not be attained. Why? Because your goal and your task are not congruent. Kumbaga, they are not connected to each other. That's why it must be aligned, or should we say, they are connected with each other. Because later on, if that objective will be attained, that means you are an effective teacher and the demonstration is highly effective. Did we get everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Next one, credibility. Can someone give idea? Rachel, please give your idea of what is credibility. Based a teacher, can you give why credibility is important as a teacher?
Credibility is important as a teacher because if a teacher shows reliable information or factual information, then the students will be engaged, engage in different activities that the teacher will show to the students.
Okay, precisely. And one more thing, a teacher must be So a teacher must be maintain its credibility. Kasi if the teacher will not teach effectively, it will reflect to his or herself. Why? Because you will be blamed that later on your students will go out the four corners of the classroom, did not learn something from you. And the comments of the people will say, what kind of teacher you are? Teacher ka pa naman. That's the biggest challenge of a teacher face all the time. That's why we should always maintain strong credibility. In teaching students, we must always master our topic. Let's go on to the first impression, and at the same time, alignment with the objective. These qualities are very important, especially in teaching. The next one, we will maintain the credibility, because once the credibility of a teacher will be broken, it is very hard to fix again. Have you ever seen a glass? If that will be broken into pieces, diba, it will no longer be fixed again. So, if a teacher will broken his or her credibility, it's very hard to please people again to believe in you. And that's what happens in our previous teachers. Diba? We have teachers before na ginasaway, nga unsa man siya klase nga teacher, oy, unsa man siya klase nga. That later on, it will be the school head will know about the teacher. So, kuha na kayo siya og load, meaning wala na siya itudluhan kayo, kaya nga naman, the students na ma-under sa iya, dili man ganahan because of his or her way of teaching. And isa sa maka-discourage sa students nga maminaw sa imo is that first, maglingkod lang ta magtudlo. Wala dyo estudyante maminaw ana. Precisely. Next one, kanang sigig pasulat. Kanang halos tibuok blackboard, mahurot na ipasulat lang all the tibuok session ninyo. Naapayuban students that they hate reporting, but since we are already touching the so-called student-centered way of teaching, so reporting is the best strategy. That is to enhance the speaking skills and also the knowledge of the students. Excuse me. Next one. Okay. Retention and understanding. So, Honey, as a teacher, why do you think that retention in understanding is important? As a future teacher, why do you think that retention in understanding is highly important? Yeah.
Attention and understanding in teaching is important because you need to it is important so that para sa mga lessons dito nimo if na-subtan ba nimo siya or wala. Kaya if wala nimo siya na-subtan, then how can you teach that to your students?
Okay, very good, precisely. Because if you understand your topic, it is easy for you to transfer that knowledge that what you have learned to your students. Because if you did not understand that one, and if you did not, there's no any retention that been happen to your mind, so it's very hard for you to transfer the knowledge or the information to your students. So as a teacher, you will not go in front of your students if you did not master your topic, and at the same time, if you did not know how to teach that one, kasi naman nakakahiya na you go in the front of your students and you just stand all the time. So it's very, it's not quite a very nice personality of a teacher. Next one, engagement. Tina, please give your insights about the importance of engagement in demonstration.
The importance of engagement in demonstration that as a future teacher, we should engage our students to participate and give their insights on what the teacher is discussing.
Okay, precisely. If the lesson is not engaging, do you think it is effective?
No.
Why do you think it's not effective? If it's more on lecture, how you as a teacher, how will you make that lesson be more engaging if it is purely lecture?
Or solicitation.
Okay, by soliciting answers, very good. It is one of the techniques. So you're going to ask questions to this one so that it will be more engaging. Especially if your topic is literature, it's really a very boring topic. Matulog gid mo estudyante pag imuhang topic is literature. Kasi bihira lang ang gusto og literature. Pero galing bisan pag romance na siya and English and they cannot understand words written on that piece, dili jud na sila kanang, I'm very sure dili na sila maminaw kay nganuman dili na sila ka-relate. Pero og kanang Filipino na siya nga Wattpad, I'm sure na most of the students makarelate, or Korean drama na siya, so very makarelate yun ang mga Gen Z. So, we as a teacher know, to make our topic more engaging, like Mary Chris said, solicit some answers. That's also one. Another thing, how to make your demonstration more engaging. Jacel.
To make your demonstration more engaging, you must give activities to your different activities to your students.
Okay, precisely. Give activities to your students because that's also one thing that you can assure that your topic is engagement. Next one, you can also insert jokes where you are while you are discussing. Don't be so serious while you are discussing, like what Fernand always do if he has his reporting. He always insert jokes because with that your topic will be not boring kasi lain na pud kayo og kanang ka-topic ra jud ka diha all the time na serious kay ka. Dili jud maminaw imong estudyante pero insertan din imong jokes, mga hugot-hugot. So your topic will be what? Engaging. Okay. Sila. Okay, critical thinking, overcoming challenges. Shiny, please give your thought about critical thinking as a teacher.
So, critical thinking is a act of practice on how you think critically.
precisely. So as a teacher, we must be critical thinker. Why? We need to solve problems inside and outside the classroom because even though we are already done with our tasks inside the school, your role as a teacher will not be end on that in that given time kasi bisan pa muli na kagbalay na yung estudyante magsigig PM nimo kaya kita karon wala man tay ka-chat once na mag-practice teaching ta and maggunit na tag subject sa atong cooperating teacher, mind you kana inyong messenger magbuy-bagting yun na all the time.
Ganahan ko ana.
To the point kaya ikaw na lang ang samukan. And how are you going to handle that one? As a teacher, of Fernan, ganahan man ka kaso. Pero kung madami din tayo, makulitan ka, how are you going to manage that one? How are you going to control that one? Kasi ang student, hindi man mo makuha, bisan pa.
May sabi, utasan kuan, do not disturb. Ito, as a teacher, hindi man dyan nato manikayan nung mga yun. So maybe we will just give them an exact time when to contact you or when to ask some questions regarding on that topic so that your leisure time will not be affected because it is also important for us to relax, to have fun in order for our brain to refresh para po nala po kayo the next day na tulog na sila. Because it is also important to take good care of your mind because dili as a teacher dili lang kay kanang ang atong laban is dili lang hangin. So until mga next day nagiha pong kay laban nato. So ana nga time kung Sabado kung weekend siya, dapat dili gyud ka maka-discover because it is also your time to to enjoy. So dili pud kay teacher ka kana hawid ka og topic, ikaw nga student magsige na lang pag-ulit dito. So you must know when to kana refer to your teacher and when not to answer your teacher kay
Okay, no, so I want to share with you. So, I read the account of my boyfriend and akong message nasa taas pag-abot sa mga pila ka oras na nasa ubos kay nga naman puros na estudyante niya tanan, sir, good morning sir, yun ani sir, yun anak sir, to the point nga samukan siya nga kung pwede lang daw lamig kay ipang block, but you cannot block also your students because they need you and some clarification. But yeah, it was Fernan said na if you have to set limits on when to contact your teachers and you have to set also schedules. That's a very good way of controlling or manipulating your students in contacting you. Nilay po kayo no, tunga-tunga sa gabi pero atong modular naka-experience si Tana kung i-PM ang mga instructor tunga-tunga sa gabi.
Yeah.
So kanya, I'm also one of that. Kanang paan, yeah, that's good. Nga na gamit ato tong critical thinking pa unsa day nato i-manage atong students when it comes to these aspects because admittedly karon dili na kita a traditional way of communication. Puro na kita cellphone. Ang namagitan lang sa tuwa is the screen and your phone. So we as a future teachers, saan man nato na kasi kung ani ang generation karon, how much more kung kita na ang sunod mag-teach, what kind of generation, what kind of attitude na po ang ato ang handle. Next one, overcoming challenges. Christine, please give your thought about overcoming challenges. As a teacher, how are you going to overcome challenges? In demonstration.
As a future educator, for me, how to overcome challenges is to use different strategies in teaching.
So how would you integrate those students?
Okay, that's it. Okay, that is good. So guys, I will give you a scenario. Okay, I will give you a scenario. If karon ma-assign mo sa bukid nga high school. Okay, high school ha, walay kuryente. Just try to imagine sa pinakalayong bungtod sa tuang probinsya. And you as a teacher, paunsa nimo siya ikuan, challenge na siya. ikaw as a teacher, paunsa nimo himuon nga mahimong successful ang imong demonstration? Wala mo'y kuryente, wala mo'y TV. Saan nimo as a teacher? Oh, para visual aids. Yes, very good. Paunsa nimo ang imong visual aids mahimong kanang bitaw captured ka siya. Catchy siya sa item ng students. Localization. By what? By how? Sige, what? Mary Joy, by how? Again, creativity and localization. How are you going to integrate those?
So integrate your IMs in a localization by connected your lesson in the locality. Like going to maaari mo ang kanang IMs with creative.
Okay, so that's it. Okay, so sakto no? So ma-apply na to diri ang localization kaya mga materials nga makita lang nato within our surroundings. Next one, atong creativity ma-apply. So kay line ko kayo og taplak lang tani ha. Puro purely Manila paper. Next one. Okay. Post demonstration reflection. Jeremy. Okay, please give your insight about post demonstration reflection. Why do you think it is important in effective demonstration and post demonstration reflection? Again, give your insight about the importance of post demonstration reflection. Is it really post demonstration?
Importance to give
Post demonstration reflection.
It is important to give a post demonstration reflection. It is important to give a post demonstration reflection in order for the class, the students to assess if they have learned or knowledgeable the topics.
Okay, thank you. So another idea, Carla. Sige, Carla, please stand up. Please stand up, Carla. Okay, as a teacher, why do you think that post demonstration reflection is important? I'm sorry, Jeremiah, I want to simplify the question. You as a teacher, how are you going to assess or reflect yourselves after your demonstration if it is effective or not?
For me, it is effective if my demonstration. If the demonstration is effective, if the student understand what I have discussed from them, when I learning na makuha from my discussion.
Okay, but you as a teacher, how are you going to say that my demonstration is effective? You as a teacher, aside from they get something from the students get something from you. You as a teacher, how are you going to say that? Yeah, finally my demonstration is successful or effective. Oh yes, Lester.
I can say if my demonstration is effective at the end. When I ask students, they can understand. They can answer my questions, and when I ask them to ask me a question, if they have clarifications, then if there is none, so I can say that a demonstration is effective.
Okay, precisely. And also, like what you have mentioned, that if they ask some clarification and you answer, that means you really master your topic. Next one, professional excellence. Okay, Charity, please stand up. Why do you think that in demonstration, professional excellence is very important?
I think it is very important to act professional, especially when you're having a demonstration, so that ang imong mga students kay behave sila well and makasabot po sila the way sa imo ang mga ipang.
Okay, so yeah, very good. Professional excellence. Dili man pud pwede no nga. Actually, when you're in demonstration, dili gina maiwasan nga na makukulit na estudyante. I will give you one scenario ha. This practice teacher, she shared to us na actually gipahimo ka role play. Then karon, ang yang estudyante wala nagtarong, ang bulokag, gingnan na nga. Okay, magandang araw sa lahat. Ang aming presentasyon. Ito po si Mahugutin na na. So, as a teacher, how are you going to manage that type of attitude nga nananay ka nang gina-instill nga bastos sa imong klase? Dili man pud pwede nimo buang ka ay animal man ka. No, dili man pud pwedeng anahon kay especially nga practice teacher pa lang ta. Di man pud mo pwedeng anahon. You as a teacher, kung muna na ang scenario, unsaon nimo pagsaway ang imong estudyante? Jerlyn.
Okay, so with that case, as a teacher, you need to make ways on how to discipline them. Of course, you should have to manage them in a nice way also, and then to confront them in a nice way that the things that they did is not good.
Precisely. We have to talk to the student, no? We really need to know nganon niya to nahimo. In that way, your professional excellence is still maintained. Dili nimo pwede kasabaan diretsyo ang estudyante. Pero sa una kita no kasabaan ta diretsyo in front of the class. Tawag ba na yun sa principal?
Uniton pa Jud.
Dili pa po. As a teacher, we need to talk first the student. Then kung balikon niya, dito na dayon sa ay patawag ang parents to the guidance office. Pag dili pag yun siya, kung naay ang school dean of discipline, mo na siya dito magpataw og mga sanctions sa students nga ni-violate sa classroom rules. And also, pag dili pag yun siya, makuhaan pag yun, dili pag yun matabang, grabe nag-estudyantihan, no? That's the time na ipatawag sa school principal. And ang school principal ang mag-give of verdict kung saan ang estudyante. Expulsion or suspension or kanang i-total ban ang student sa school. Meaning, dili na siya pwede maka-enroll dito og balik. So with that, imuhang professional integrity, ma-maintain gihapon siya. So dili ma-kay. Lisod kayo no pag mga saba ka og student, ang unang punteryahon sa imo is what? Unsay unang punteryahon sa teacher kung makasaba ni estudyante? Unsay unang punteryahon?
Yung license.
Yeah, very good. License. May nga tayong pataktakan og license without knowing how hard to study. Kung ano niya. Karon na ba no? Kaya ang LET is just the minimum requirement. Minimum ra daw na. Minimum requirement to be a professional teacher. So, that's it. Your professional excellence must be maintained through disciplining your students in a good way. Pero ma-discipline pa ba ang students in a good way?
Depende sa
Depende. Dili ko ta kaingon no kasi as I observe kung ang student bitaw makakonect sa imuha and ang imong way of teaching kay dili siya kan bitong stick to the traditional then dili ra po kay totally strict sa ilaha you can get their attention guys I tell you kung kana bitong ang students man gud karon ilang kontra dili man kato mga bagong teachers ang kato mga tigulang I'm sorry of the word pero ano kasi ang mga may edad na mga teachers nato is ang ilang way of approach sa estudyante is very traditional pa. Kanang pang 1970s o 1960s pa kayo ang type. Where in fact, karon sa generation, unsa na daya type of approaching nato sa students? Teachers, future teachers. Kuan, Raslyn, unsa na daya ang way of approach? Jerlyn, unsa na daya mga way of approaches nato sa students? Kinaday sa gulong-gulong, it could be. Yan. Kabulong-kabulong.
Ito sila amigoan ba? Oo. Mga mo amigo kay babantay mo dyan mo bisag dili sa eskwelahan. Naman dyan sa mga leader na ka ano sa church or whatever na dyan na amigo na mo sila ginang-ginang.
Okay, very good. That's also the
Kasi oy pa yung gamay.
okay, very good. No, sakto, pinala na nato sila, amigo. Or magbuha na to ang ilang ginatawag na kiliti, we as a teacher. Because with that, we know na ang way of approach is gating ilang kailangan. And take note, as students is diverse. So with that, we maintain our, what we have maintained?
Professional excellence.
Okay, adaptability. Jonah, please stand up. Why do you think that in demonstration, adaptability is important?
So, in a classroom, setting, ang mga estudyante is diverse. Nagkalay-lain sila ang paano. So, a teacher should be adaptable or Oo, sa mga pagtudlo. Kaya man yung ma-handle ang all nga sa lain-lain sila.
Hey, please stand up, Kane. Sige, I'll give you a scenario. Teacher Kane, if you're going to be deployed or assigned in a very far school, how are you going to adapt on that new environment? Kung gikan ka sa city, nani ang way of lifestyle nimo. Then karon ma-assign ka sa bukid. Paunsa ka mo adapt sa environment?
Of course, if ma-assign naman natin ko sa layo, then the thing I need to do is to adapt wherein I need to embrace the kuan sa mga estudyante especially sa lugar kay like for example sa kuan sa mua litan sa balay ko kay naanad ako sa environment sa mua so pag abot na ko kanila kasakit ko mga pila to kaadlaw din lisod siya pero pagkadugay-dugay ni mga kuan kana bitaw mo bitaw nadugay na kaani nga lugar mo na ano ba ka without even without even kana bitaw wala dito ka isang wala ka sa tawa na oy
Notice.
lang without even naadap na rin mo or kuan na rin mo ang kuan naadap na kaani nga lugar.
So slowly na ka-adjust ang lawas ni Christine, please stand up. Okay, please stand up, Christine. So let's go on to the context of demonstration. If you are in your previous school, bongga ang inyong classroom kasi 21st century ang setting. Now, mabutang ka sa school na wala jud siya tanan, kumbaga more purely traditional. How are you going to adapt as a teacher? Nga naanad man ka nga isang tuplong ha nga dito. Then karon ibutang ka ni DepEd sa lugar nga kanang malayo sa kabihasnan. You as a teacher, how are you going to instill your adaptability?
For example, if maka-afford man gani, so I will just provide. And ito, maanad mo po dito. Maka-afford gani. Pero for example, muna yung so, makita naman mga strategies nga kananguha kung siya dito sa kanang lugar kay English, for example, like of course, di ka makagamit ng mga TV, mga PPTs, so you will just use traditional na mga IMs. And mangita na mga agi as a teacher kung saan mo siya deal sa and how you are going to teach your students kay syempre naanad ka sa for example sa mga high-tech na lugar tapos nabalik ka, napunta ka sa remote area. So as a teacher, you need to mangita strategies and ways on how to provide an effective teaching to your students.
Precisely, very good. No, that's the way of as a teacher. It is your strategy already on how to find ways, di ba, Letty? Okay. You have to. Hindi naman kung pwedeng ay wala may TV, di na lang ko magtudlo na. Pwede din na sa DepEd, Fernan. Pag wala TV. Pag wala TV daw, di na lang mo magtudlo. So you have to find strategy.
Magsulat sa Manila paper.
Gamiton pag-artistic.
Okay, so that's the end. Thank you, guys.
Continue the steps for teaching preparation. So, teaching preparation is the act of getting ready to teach. So, as a teacher, you have to understand your students, you have to plan engaging activities, prepare your materials, and also you have to be flexible in teaching. So, let us first tackle the first step. So, everyone, please read knowledge, your background. So you have to know what your students already know and how they prefer to learn. So some students manggod, we notice that some students learn by seeing things visually. So ilahang learning more on what they have seen. And other students also mas prefer nila hands-on activities. So by giving hands-on activities, so the students can learn and also understand effectively the discussion that you have heard. So next is to define learning objectives. So Miss Angana, do you have any idea about the second step?
Define learning objectives. Okay, so you need to define your learning objectives in order for your students to be able, your students and also you as a teacher to be able to meet the standards of learning.
Okay, so as a teacher, no, if you prepare to teach, then you should prepare or set goals when you teach. So you have to define what your students achieve by the end of the lesson. So kung unsa ilahang dapat mahibalan. So this helps you as a teacher to be more focused on your goals in order for your students kung unsa ang ilang dapat mahibalan at the end of your lesson. Then next is to plan and engage in content. So Miss Hani, can you share your insights about plan and engage in content?
So as a teacher, before kapag mag-classes and mga students is kanang you already had a plan kung sa inyong mga engaging activities nga ipahimo sa ilaha during your class so that mas maka-interact bitaw sila sa inyong class and then kanang dili sila ma-bored during your discussions because kanang na naman kay mga engaging activities na na-plano and then
Okay, so if you are a teacher, no, so you have to plan and engage in differentiated activities na maka-engage sa inyong students. For example, maghatag ng mga hands-on activities in order for your students to be engaged in learning. So, yes. Then the next is to incorporate interactive techniques. So, Miss Charity?
In demonstration, you need to incorporate ka ng mga interactive activities for your students to not kanang dili sila makapil og boring dayon para mas maka-learn sila kay na may mga lain-lain klase sa students nga kanang mas makabalo sila in terms engage inig na ay kanang mga lain-lain nga interactive activities nga apply or implement ang teacher.
Okay, so incorporating interactive techniques in your teaching can help the students to learn effectively because some students learn effectively if they have fun in teaching in engaging in your class discussions. Like for example, maghatag ng activities. So the more the students learn, the more students will be engaged in that activity. So the more they learn in your subject or your lesson. So next is to integrate technology. So in teaching, balo naman siya tanga, we already use it. We already use technology in our teaching, no? So we have incorporated mga online videos na gamit ang mga PPT and also the use of our kanang television. So next we have prepare materials and resources. So
Buntag pa sa libro namin.
So prepare materials and resources. Like for example, in preparing items. So if you won't be able to use technology, so you should use items like traditional instructions. So in preparing materials, you should prepare the items so that the students can be able to comprehend your topic with preparing ng mga classification ng mga materials for them to give effective learning process in your discussion.
Okay, no, so if you are a teacher, then you have to prepare, you have to gather all your materials and your resources in teaching. So it helps you to deliver effectively, and you can gain and smooth delivery of your lesson. So next is practice and timing. JB. Practice and timing.
Practice and timing. So in demonstration, so you really need to practice your lesson for you to be able to deliver it properly to the class. Because how can you teach if you as a teacher did not have enough knowledge regarding the topic that you shared to your students? So as a teacher, we need to practice more and study the lesson as well for us to be able to deliver and for our teaching to be effective.
Okay, so in practice and timing. So practice makes everything perfect. So if you're a teacher, you have to rehearse your lesson before you deliver it in your students. So this helps your students to you should rehearse in order for your students to makahibalo sila o unsa jud ang imong i-deliver sa classroom, makasabot sila nimo. And then the next is to prepare materials. So let's assessment strategies. So Mr. Rami, any idea about assessment strategies? What idea? Gawa po ba ito? Assessment strategies. For me, assessment is my own understanding about assessment strategy. It is how a teacher or a demonstrator can find ways or strategies in order for the assessment to be hindi siya effective. In order for the students to better understand what your topic or your lesson.
Okay, so when you teach, you have to check your students' understanding, no? So throughout your lesson, you have to regularly assess your students on what they have learned throughout your lesson. So maghatag ka post-assessment in order for you to know kung asa ang inyong students naka-learn, kung asa po sila wala naka-learn.
Then next is to address
Different learning styles.
So as a teacher, you have also to consider the different styles of learning of your students, because there are learners that can learn through visual, and there are also learners that can learn through listening. So with that, you have to integrate, or you have to include in your planning those techniques or those styles of your students in order for them to cope or to understand well about your lesson, because it is your target, it is your aim that your students, all of your students must learn about your topic. So with that, with equipping with those techniques or those styles, and using those learning styles, you can assure that you can come up with an effective teaching.
So address different learning styles. As a teacher, you have to be flexible. So because not all students can understand in the same way. So you as a teacher must adapt different learning methods, you have to have a differentiated activities. So lalo na sa mga students nga they have the struggle to learn. So being flexible, it allows you to meet diverse learners and also to assess the needs of your students in learning. Next na lang English. Okay, so let's continue the discussion for lesson structure. So before the class, everyone please read and identify
the learning objectives, plan the specific learning activities, assessments, and the sequence of the lesson. Create a realistic timeline. Plan for a lesson closure.
Okay, so before doing your class discussion, you have to first is to set your learning objectives. So you must figure out what you want for your students to learn, and you have also to decide what activities or tests and how you are going to teach throughout your lesson. Then next is to create a realistic timeline. So you have to, as a teacher, you have to set a schedule or make sure that you're given your allotted time, you have to cover all your lessons, and you must deliver your discussions effectively in your class. So plan for a lesson closure. So you will not just end your class smoothly or directly. So you have to summarize first what your students have learned or what areas that they need for improvement. So next is during the class, Agnes, please read, and you can share your ideas.
During the class, share the lesson plan with your students, help keep them more engaged and on track. So, as a teacher, you should share your lesson plan to be able to know, to nakabalo ang students sa imong kanang objectives sa imong sa flow sa imong lesson.
Okay, very good. So during the class, you have to let your students know kung unsa if what you will have to do in the classroom. So kung paunsa nimo i-discuss so that they can follow along with your discussion, and you have for them to stay engaged during the class. So after the class, please read Alice. After the class,
Reflect on what went well and why. And what is the objective and after the class? First, we have this called assessment, and this through assessment we can reflect on what are the things that we have attained based on our objectives. So what are the things, are the weaknesses and strengths of your students that you need to touch? What are the things that they don't have, that they don't understand?
very good. So after the class, you just don't have to learning other mga students. Hindi siya dapat ingananan. So you have to look back and learn if what areas your students that they need improvement, kung they have learned in that area or what they didn't learn in the discussion. So you have to know where the areas where you ginagamit di ba pag pagkamatag objectives. So, SMART. S stands for specific. So, it means that your goal is direct, detailed, and meaningful. Measurable means your goal is quantifiable to track progress or success. Attainable means your goal is realistic and you have the tools or resources to attain it, and relevant. So your objectives must be relevant also. Your goal must align with your company mission and the time base. Your goal has a deadline. So you have to make sure that you cover all the discussions in the allotted time. So next.
So to continue our discussion, Ms. Raj will discuss about the lesson structure, about what to do before, during, and after the class. She also mentioned the SMART, which is very important consideration in making your lesson plan. And you should have the goal of planning or preparing for your demonstration, which is abbreviated for plan, is progress. Of course, you are looking out for progress, and of course to learn. The purpose of your teaching is to learn, so you have to plan accordingly for those lessons that fit your students for them to learn, and you have to apply your lesson plan, and you have to nurture every learnings that your students take. So that's how the lesson structure is all about. So now let's proceed to the materials and resources. I'm sorry for that. Materials and resources. So how important is our materials and resources in your class, Ms. Shani?
So materials and resources are important in our class in a way that it is serve as a guide, on our discussion. We use them as our
Yes, thank you, Ms. Shiny. So exactly, this is a guide or what we call a supporting system or chain, because we don't need, we should not solely just talk in front. We need some materials that can help students to kind of actively engage in the discussion, just like the using of pictures, mga videos. So we have here the lesson plan. It's the very important things you have to prepare in the before making your discussion or your demonstration. Miss Christine, what are those parts of lesson plan that you have to consider? Mga parts in making your lesson plan.
Parts in making the lesson plan. First, we have to the objectives first, and then the procedure, which includes readings, figure attendance, duration, review, and also the discussion, the generalization, the application, and evaluation.
Yes, exactly. Miss Christine mentioned all those things that you have to make during your lesson planning. So you have to consider first the objectives of your lesson plan. You have the goal. You need to set goal for what students should learn during the discussion, and you have the discussion, and of course the evaluation where students can reflect and learn and measure what helped students learn during your discussion. So lesson planning is very important for teachers, as this is the guide, or this is the what you call the commercial blueprint sa teacher. Kung ang engineer na sila ilang yung blueprint, the lesson plan is the blueprint of the teacher. We also have the visual aid. Ms. JP, what is a visual aid?
For visual aid is a tool that is used by teachers, especially
more in terms of this, to engage more in the class discussion and also in the activities that the teacher will implement.
Yes, exactly, JB. So, visual aids are those mga cartulinas, mga any materials, mga paper materials, na face sa board, kanang for the preference of the students, kanang mga ginagagay, what if those time mga students nga, kanang dili kay sila dali makakasya up in terms of kanang listening, kanang mamila lang sila sa teacher when speaking. So, naas like kanang visual aid. Actually, visual aid was used during times na itong mga panahon ng technology and it is very useful and kanang continue siya before because this is the kanang mag-help sa students to kanang mas masabdan man nila better ang mga lessons aside from listening to the teacher and also referring to the visual aids. How about the materials and the materials or resource the handouts? What is a handout? Yes, Jasa. Handouts is the one of the materials that the teacher can give to the students for them to be able to understand better or for them to be able to understand better the, for example, or reading Yes, exactly. Handouts, katong mga printed band papers or kanang mga i-distribute sa teachers for in case nga, aside from visual aids, dapat siya ginagawa ng handouts kay for the students kanang one of the consideration of having handouts is katong mga students at nagbawa, hindi na sila kaklaro kayo sa kuwan. Na sila, even, bisan kamay na piece, na sila yung preference na gihapon and it is kanang karon nga generation, it is kanang optional ra ang handouts kasi kailangan naman tayo technology based na anak ko tayo mga visual aids pero as a teachers you need to consider also having handouts. Then we also have interactive elements. Interactive elements are those activities that you implement in your during the discussion mga media, mga elements na insert para mas interactive ang mga pwede ka lang games, just like reading. You have this for reading, interactive elements is about interaction of students and a teacher in discussing the lesson. So the teacher will think mga strategies on how a teacher should ma-attract niya ang young students. And technology setup, it is very common sa of having technology setup. Pero what if ma-brand out? So convenient technology convenient siya i-use because aside from wala nang hindi ka magasto okay less yung cost siya yung advantages which is very convenient to use but in case na mag-brand out or as a teacher you will be assigned to rural areas so mga walang mga technology so not the handouts not the technology based so we also have backup plans. So these technology setups and visual aids are just backup plans. In case mag-run out, you have always, because it was discussed by Francisco, our best friend, he discussed about the adaptability. A teacher should be adaptable in the environment. So in case mga unpredictable during class discussion yung mga mahitabo mga very hindi siya ma-predict na nimo just for brand outs something na yung mga kulang sa ibang materials na always ka na ay backup. Mami na natin kung ilang ginatawag of the plan A and plan B. So sa ato karon di ba atong plan A kay technology. And atong plan B is visual aid. So what's the use of plan B? Kaya nga nang mag-plan B man ka sa visual aid. In case of mag-brand out. Yes, Carla. Why do we have the visual aid as a backup?
As what you said earlier, it is important to have visual aids as a backup because in case of a brand out breakout, there always na teacher pwede magamit sa teacher para sa school.
Yes, exactly. So, the teacher is not always run on school, but in case na mag-teach ka, key teachers should kanang ano tayo kanang di ba atong teacher sa una kay in case nga kanang for example, nag-set na siya o kanang lesson to be discussed today. Then, for the kanang in that time, na ay hindi nagpatawag. Kung sa may gibol sa inyong teacher during time, Mary Joy, in that scenario, na hindi nagpatawag ng emergency meeting, pero ang plan sa teacher is to discuss the lesson. And then the principal called a meeting, kanang ba? Kung sa may gibol sa inyong teacher to
If so, ang teacher will patawag sa principal, then therefore the students will act as a facilitator. So there will be a discussion happen in the classroom, and also there is a one student or there will be a recording happen. So the student will act as a facilitator during that time.
Yes, exactly. It is one of the example na mag-set tag mga students na take over sa diri sa atubangan, kanang pagbilin tag mga words nila ba kay kanang panalo na ang tanan pero kalibrag ka tawag og meeting. So that's the time the teacher will take away para continue ra gyapon ang learning sa estudyante, magbilin siya ng mga words or mag-assign mo siya someone na mag-discuss sa lesson or kanang mag-assignment siya. So that's what we call the backup plans of a teacher. So you have to consider always a backup plans. I always need to have a backup in preparing your teaching or preparing for your demonstration. So, Ortega, the question is, what is the importance of these materials in your demonstration?
So these materials are important for my demonstration since it helped me be guided on my demonstration and it also aid me in delivering my lesson to the students.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Ortega. How about you, Generico? What among these materials, what materials would you prefer to use among these? Kaya mga commonly used nimo, apply nimo during your nakademo na ka, any sa ganun yan, depende kung most ginagamit nimo di anak mga mina-apply din mo mga materials sa mga teaching.
The materials and resources that I have applied and will continue to apply in teaching or demonstrating our lesson plan, visual aids, interactive elements, and technology setup. And of course, we can also consider backup plans.
So these materials are very important. So wala siya mabili nila no. So kay ang visual aid na siya nasa like kaugaling mo nila mga purpose. So let's proceed to practice and timing. So of course, before doing your demonstration, you have to practice or you have to nagplano ka, so you are practicing on how to implement your discussion or how to implement your lesson. So, from the topic, practice and timing, how practice is important to you as a teacher. Jonah? From the word practice, how important practice to you is in teaching as a teacher?
So, as a teacher, in teaching practice is very important or crucial because while doing, just like saying,
Practice makes perfect.
So, if my practice never makes perfect,
So, yes, according to that, practice
Makes perfect.
Pero no, practice makes improvement. Improvement siya, dili siya, because there's no according to Sir Airport, kung mag-aim ka practice, dili siya, wala siya endpoint. Kaya there's no perfection man every subject is 1 hour, do 1 hour 30 minutes. So, nakaset na tanan diha dapat imo ang goal is namin maatay na nimo in that period of time. So we also have timing practice. So during your rehearse, syempre na kay timing na I will learn ako ang objectives, isa na ako yung mga 1 minute para dili ka siya okay. Nag-focus ka sa discussion. How about your evaluation and generalization? Na nabiya na kaayon o napunta na kag-time. So we also have peer feedback. Aka na naka-experience mo ng, sige pa, i-question na lang ako niya Miss Rachel, naka-experience ka na mag-practice ka dahil gusto niyo imong friends will kanang listen to you, makakay sa'yo. Kaya we cannot identify our own mistakes, man. That's why you prefer to have someone who will listen to you or kanang mas ano mga mistakes. Naka-experience ka na, can you share?
Si Sir Jorge or speech na ako. So, I'm going to like what you help with ease, understanding, kung okay about pronunciation, timing.
So, yes, thank you, Miss Rachel. So, peer feedback is very important, no? Kay, according to her, kanang makakita siya ng mga makabalo siya, kung sa iya ang mga kulang, kay sometimes man good, alis sa ato ang self-centered kay, masahay ko kay, yung maayo na kay ka, pero wala kabalo sa ubang tao na naalay kung sila yung nakita na sa'yo, wala na kung nakita. That's one. I have observed that scenario here in our classroom. Kaya kita mag-study ka, ayun, sundyo na ito, yun kayo para makita na ito ba kanang masinasa lagi pang wala na ko natunan, wala magpanukan aray ka, dayon, diyan na lang ito makita na kung saan sakto. Maka-identify na ta na, this must be the right thing to do. Of course, as a teacher, you should be open for suggestion. Okay, we are making improvements na. So, ganong gina-neglect na ito ang atong self to grow. Ganong gina-neglect na ito kung we are refraining ourselves to accept suggestions na maman yung mag-help sa to grow. So, it's very important to have feedbacks for us to reflect from the mga lapses na ito, mga mistakes na ito, mga nabuhat unconsciously. So, we also have the Q&A presentation. Yes, what your insights about the Q&A presentation. After peer feedbacks, we also have Q&A preparation. So you should consider Q&A preparation to be able to identify if the students understand or evaluate your student if they understand your lesson. Yes, evaluation. Karang Q&A ka ba kay para mas makabalo ka kung nakasagot mo din siya. Kakuan ka na, during the lesson, given the lesson ka na mag-discuss, nakaka-teacher before sa high school na solely kaya mas hindi na doon siya ka very story. Wala na kayo nasabtan kay boring na kayo ba? Na-lacking sa ang discussion which is the Q&A presentation. That teacher should ask questions. So, you should practice that. You should practice that Q&A. Pangutan-unin mo siya, or even sa i-apply na siya sa peer feedbacking. After peer feedbacking, pangutan-unin mo siya nga, unsa ang way ni mo ani mga questions, mga possible questions nga nakita mo sa classroom. So, you have to Q&A preparation you have this Q&A preparation para aware ka nga naay mga questions na need to look answers for the students who are written. Kaya, naman mga students na curious kaayo, they don't know, tanag sila. So, you have to prepare for your answer. Kaya, kung saan makapagkatawag kong teacher, kung even your lesson, dili ka ka-answer. Pangutanong mo sa mga students, mura na kayo namatog diha, wala ka pa sa ito ba? So, you have to prepare for a Q&A ka ng mga scenario or agad in case na kuan, what if pangutanong mo sa mga students na maka-answer ko, ano ba? Kaya, you as a teacher, you should be responsible for your lesson. Dapat full knowledge ka kay
depend na sila sa inyo. So, murag, once sa ila abitaw nga, si teacher, wala kabaluan na, iyak ng lesson. Murag, kaulawan sa teacher, kaya you are a teacher, good teacher, from the word teacher itself, so you must be prepared. Then, address issues. Yes, Letty, how do you address issues inside the classroom? What kind of practices you should apply in addressing issues?
So, by addressing issues, we need to, for example, you have more ways or techniques on how to address. Like, for example, one of your students have an issues in this specific area on your topic. So, by addressing that, you need to encourage him or her to participate during discussions that the issues that he or she so must address.
So, dili ba nila ito kaya no, we cannot avoid issues inside the classroom. Like, this classroom composed of different backgrounds. So, other issues ka, mahitabo ng misunderstanding. So, you as a teacher, you must serve as a guidance counselor to your students. You should know how to solve the issues without taking sides. Mag-independent ka, wala ka panigan. Right? In case kayo students nag-away silang duha, pag-iintay ko din mo isa. Labanan mo itong isa. So, very unfair sa students. Very unfair kay siya sa side sa students. Like, nilabanan siya. Para sa ako, if I am the students, siyempre, mawalan ko gana sa klase. Like, nagigis ka na mga issue, labanan ko din ang mga pananara ba? As a teacher, you need to balance fairness in terms of your class. Like, naman yung mga students ka left behind, so you have to address issues promptly and fairly. So that's why, as a teacher, you have to prepare. Imagine mga issues na may bago kay dili kay kamay issue lang kani ko nasuko lang kadiha, hindi mo lang giayon balik sa mga students. It's somehow aligned with adaptability. You need to be adaptable in every scenario inside the classroom. Okay, even gamay na rin siyang classroom, there are a lot of changes happens. There are issues syempre arise in this four walls borders of this room. So that's you should do practice and timing before preparing your demonstration. You have to consider to rehearse, do your timing, pair feedbacking. You should consider your friends. You also need to set questions or Q&A portions and address issues. So everyone,
Prepare yourself, activate your senses, condition your mind, and march in teaching.
Fernand, what can you say about prepare yourself in your own words?
For me, prepare yourself is you're going to be a fighter or a motor to a young generation, since you are the ladder of their success. So you must prepare yourself in order for them to be more capable of doing the things that they may encounter in the future. So by that, you can prepare them also to be more stronger in achieving their goals.
Yes, exactly. You have to prepare yourself so that the students will rely on you. How prepared are you? It will reflect your teaching. Kaya prepared ka, then di ba successful ang mga delivery of lesson? And you have to prepare yourself for the things that will happen inside the classroom. Kaya circumstances na hindi na tumapredict. So, you have to prepare and prepare. Always prepare yourself. Even wala ka gi-ask na prepare. Wala ka gi-ask mag-prepare. Always prepare. Pag-prepare lang dito all the time. Kaya as a teacher,
model for students. And activate your senses. You should observe, listen, be observant to your be considerate to your students. So activate your senses. Then condition of mind and heart in teaching. Now, saan na niyo mag-teach kung mother kay ka na problem sa imong family problem. Then, gidala mo siya diri sa classroom. Effective. Effective teacher ba siya? Di ba dili? Mahandlo ang students. Kaya, wala ba? Ito kasi ma'am. Kapag tutuan yun, natin problema sa balay. Kaya, ang mga students, kaya wala na hindi na sila nagsige na lang sila una-una nga. Balot si ma'am, wala na sila mag-focus sa lesson. So, kanang ikaw mga teacher, ipakita niyo sa inyong students na parang okay ka dire, parang okay ka sila kay ilang vibes man. Ano na siya? Condition your mind and heart in teaching. You should have the heart in teaching. So, kanang nagulo-gulo ra kano kay nakakuan ko teacher na mayon siya nga bahala na ko lang makatunan si minutuan bitaw ni that's not the purpose of being a teacher. You are teaching because it is your calling. You teach because you want your students to learn. You need to consider your students as your own children. Kinana ba? Nga, you are thinking for their future, you are doing this for their future, for them to improve. That's why you have to condition your mind and heart. You have the heart in teaching. So, everyone read.
By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail.